With the heat waves coming and the summer heat on its way, I'm going to show you a way to keep yourself super cool during any kind of power outage during a heat wave. Let's check out this Newair misting fan. All right, folks, welcome back. So from what I've been reading, heat-related records are being broken across the United States. And there's more in store for us. A summer heat wave can result in a power outage, and that's when heat waves move from little inconveniences to deadly tragedies, especially if you live out here in the desert. Now is the time to prepare, and this is an awesome way to get that done. This is the Newair misting fan, okay? One of the most powerful misting fans on the market, thanks to the metal fan blades. You get about 2,800 CFMs to cool about a 600 square foot patio, which is where we are out here today, my screened-in patio, deck, or outdoor kitchen space. I wouldn't recommend using this indoors as it's really wet. I mean, it really sprays a stream of water at you. Now, using this 3-speed fan alone, you can connect it to a standard garden hose for a refreshing mist, but you can use the fan without the mister. I'm going to show you how I have it hooked up here. I have it right now on the Blue Eddy power station over there. We're going to walk you around and show you how I have this all set up. You can't see everything. It's got a big stand. So you get 3 fan speeds on it. Sturdy all-metal design, connects directly to your hose. It's really good for power outages. That's what I'm thinking. If you're out here in an area, again, I wouldn't use it indoors unless you're just using the fan. But if you're out in an area like outside in front of your house, whatever, during a power outage, if you're outside working in your garden, this will definitely keep you cool. And that can be a lifesaver. It's better than a swamp cooler because it puts out more mist and will cool you off a whole lot quicker. Now, this is a wide oscillating fan, okay? It does move from side to side if you need it to. We'll show you that. It does have a built-in GFCI plug, so you have an extra layer of security, especially with anything connected to water. I enjoy that. It does connect to your standard garden hose. I will show you that in a second. You connect it right up there, no problem at all. Very, very easy to use. Excellent for dry locales. Now, if you live in the swamp of Florida, this isn't going to help you much, okay? If you live in an area where there's very dry climate, like out here in the desert, this thing is awesome. Again, just like swamp coolers and those little evaporative coolers that I show you sometimes, they don't work well in humid environments. So, let me walk you around how I have this set up and show you the whole deal. Okay, so first order of business is it's going to need some power. If you have a power station, very, very low draw on it. I believe the highest I saw this get up to was 57 watts when I was just testing it. So I have it connected to the power station. That is the GFCI outlet right there. Now, I do have a hose in my back Florida room here, my screened-in room. So I have that hooked up over here. Let me show you. See the hose coming out of the wall? And there is the connection, and it's that simple. I do have it turned off right now. There is a shutoff valve on that thing. You can turn it either way because it was dripping, and that hose doesn't really seal up all that well. So that's probably some of the reason, not the fan's fault. And as you can tell, that just runs right up into the fan. The fan controls are pretty simple. You've got your button here to pull up, push down, and it will oscillate from side to side. And you have a hanging little thingy on the back here, and that will set your speed. So you can go 1, 2, or 3 as fast as you need it to go. I'll bring you over to the other side here so you can actually see it. There, like that. These are your misters. They are all the way around the fan, right in through there. Really, really cool little system. So what we're going to do is fire it up. I'm going to fire it up on the power station. Let you see how much power it draws just with the fan. Again, the misters don't draw any extra power. They're just water pressure coming out. And then we'll try it out and test out how it cools off this wall, this pillar behind me. So let me get it set up and we'll check it out. We do have the fan running on high, so let me get away from that noise for you. Let me pop this back on so you can see. That's the highest speed. And it's taking 45 watts, 44 watts. So it's definitely something you can run on a smaller power station. No problem there at all. We're going to turn on the water over here. Okay. I'm going to flip on my water and unhook this guy here. There we go. And now the water will come out. You'll start to see it misting. So what we're going to do is point it at that wall and see. I'm going to do a quick read here before we get going. See what we're at here. Keep the camera out of that. 78 degrees. Already it's going to 77. So we're at 77 degrees, let's say, starting out here. I want to keep the camera back a little bit because I don't want it to get wet. This thing puts out a lot of water, so be prepared for that. Let's give it about 5 minutes, come back, and I'll show you how cool it cools that down if you're standing right there. I want to point the camera down to the ground and show you. This is probably why you don't want to use this indoors. As you can tell, there's quite a bit of water on the ground there. but it's got a lot of output here. You can see that water just dripping off my finger. So it does put out a good amount of water. I guess in an emergency, if you really didn't care and it was life or death, you could run it in your house when your floor is getting wet. Let's put the oscillation on here for a sec. Push that down. Let it spray. It's going to soak my power station. Okay, so we won't let it go too long. But you see how that works. I'm going to pop it back straight on there because I wanted to hit that wall back there and cool it off. So let's give it a few more minutes. We're about 4 minutes into the test. Give it a few more minutes and see how it cooled down that wall, say if you were standing right there in front of it. Still drawing 45 watts of power. So you can see this is very, very efficient. You're not going to have a huge power source to keep this going. All right, we are at the 5-minute mark. I want to show you how it cooled down that wall. Let's say you're standing there, you're coming in, you're feeling a little bit of heat stroke coming on. We started it at 77, 78 degrees. I'm going to point it at that. See what we get. 67 degrees. That was pretty darn quick. And around 5 minutes to cool it down to 67. That's 10 degrees cooler just from sitting there right in the way of the fan. And as you can tell from behind, it's blowing quite a bit of water on that wall. But again, it's not too bad on the floor. It just wouldn't be something I'd use indoors because I wouldn't want to get soaking wet. So let's quiet this thing down a bit. When you turn it off, the misters will still keep going. So in order to turn them off, you're going to have to come down here and either shut off your water source or shut off the misters. And there you go. So let me wrap up the video and we'll tell you how much this is and where you can pick one up. Now, in order to get you a better view of this, I'm going to show you, we'll give you the measurements, but I want to show you what it looks like. That's as tall as it goes. You can shrink it down with that thing down there in the middle. If you spin it, you can lower it, but this is fully extended. There's your base. That's not going anywhere. Trust me, that base is in there. It's a heavy little base, so you'll be all right. Here's your top. Okay, the product dimensions on this are 19.8 inches diameter, 20.25 inches wide, and 56 inches high. So definitely going to be a good, solid distance up in the air for you. Especially if you're sitting, it can be angled downward or upward, any way you want. Okay. Now, what does it cost? Well, it's not as cheap as a regular fan because it has the misting feature. Runs about $199.99, so about $200. I do have a 10% discount code down below, so check in the description. I will give you the link and the discount code down below. Now, my link does have my discount code in it. I'm not sure if that will get you the same thing, but definitely check both. I didn't try to purchase it, obviously. This was sent to me by Newair. It was nice enough to send it to me and give it a try. And I got to say, it's going to live out here because out here in the summer, if we want to come out here for anything, or if you want to sit and eat something, or it's just too hot. I mean, we spend zero time out here because of that. It's just too darn hot out here. So with this, we'll be able to do it. And it is a little bit lower on the lower volume. I'm going to put it on low for you just to let you hear it. We'll let you hear the 3 levels. That was high. That was like, starting up a little model airplane out here. But let's put it a little bit on the lower and see what it sounds like, and then we'll wrap up. All right, so this is low. And something interesting I noticed is the power consumption doesn't change from low to medium to high. It's still in the 40s to 50 range. Nothing really goes. It's not like it goes from 40 on low up to like 200 on high. That's medium. Okay, so you can kind of get an idea. Again, the microphone here is very directional, so I'm talking directly into it. But you kind of get an idea what it sounds like. And this is the high that we had it on before. So the high, if it's not far away, may kind of get a little annoying, but the low, with the misting fan going, put it back on low, you can barely hear that. So in an emergency situation where you got to cool down, the high may be helpful, but mostly that's all you're going to need it with the misters going. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. The link for this will be down below. You can check out the links down there and see if it's right for you, see if it fits your needs and wants. I think for me, out here in the desert, it's going to be a very, very welcome companion, especially in this little screened-in room. I'll give you a quick 360 degree tour here so you can see. You can get pretty warm out here. So this will definitely come in handy for that. I'm really pleased with it so far. I've been playing around with it in my garage, just the fan. Didn't want to hook the water up because I got a lot of electronics out there and my solar stuff. And like I said, you don't want to be running this around in near electronics. You can see how much water. And a little tip, the little misters will drip for a few minutes after you're done. That's normal. There's nothing wrong with it. They will drip for a little bit after you're done. That's no big deal. So again, not something I'd use indoors unless it was an extreme emergency and I was trying to cool myself down. Maybe if you've got tile floors, you stick it at your front door and blow the air in with the mist. But this is more for an outdoor type setting. And even for like a bug out location or camp or something to cool off quick with that little tiny current draw, that's pretty darn cool. So like I said, link will be down below, discount code will be down below. Check those out. And don't forget to check out all our other links. We have our Thrive Life link down there, our Money Metals Exchange link down there. I have another video coming up from them. I got some more stuff to show you. You definitely get in on the silver kit. They got a great deal on the silver right now. So the little silver kit's an awesome way to get started in precious metals. Below that is our freeze-dried wholesalers link. Now for the next 2 days, we have the steak deal going. So definitely check that link out and go check out those steaks. Ribeye steaks are really, really good stuff. We have tried them on the channel. They're yummy. And also, of course, our Amazon affiliate store. If you guys don't want anything in the store, you just want to help out the channel, just click the link, shop as you normally would. We really do appreciate when you do that. Anyway, folks, I'm going to move this over to where I want to put it permanently and enjoy the cool. Stay safe and stay prepared.